Did you see the new Dark World Fusion colorless? Yeah, I actually did. Dark Emperor, and as crazy. Oh, let's just go to order right quick so I can visually show you guys this stuff. As crazy as it is that colorless got printed, and I'm a fan of Konami doing that. I think it's so cool that they print, because that's like what the whole third arc's about in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is like Braun is trying to use Super Poly to create the ultimate Dark World monster. It's called colorless because all the other Dark World cards are like colors. It's actually a super bad card. Like, if anyone else just think that, chat, hold on, let me see if I can find colorless. Yeah, here it is. I saw it's not mid. It's just bad. Like, Dark World just got a fusion monster 4 months ago in the structure deck, and it's way better than this because it's a negate that also makes you discard. So I was like, yo, colorless is gonna need to be broken. I mean, the art looks really cool, but like they're gonna have to make a colorless too. They kept it stuck to yeah, like the artwork looks so cool, chat. You know what I mean? He almost looks like an ancient like deity, like a god type, even though there's been like multiple Dark World god, because they have to keep ranking them up like, oh, he's the overlord of Dark World, he's the king of Dark World, he's the ruler of Dark World, and colorless is just the king again. He requires rainbow. So hold on, is this just old rainbow, chat, from Strike of Neos, or is this also the new one? Because if this is only old rainbow, this card is like automatically unplayable. If they really want you to run the old card that came out in 2007, this card's automatically unplayable. But I know there's a new rainbow that searches like gold and silver and stuff. King of the Swamp. Okay. Alright, so this card's the first one is automatically unplayable. Automatically unplayable. I mean, the new fusion uses Grapha, which is way more practical. This one uses a 2007 card, and it requires 3 monsters. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it should require Rainbow plus like 2 cards from your opponent's hand or some shit. You know what I mean? If this card is fusion summoned, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This sounds really good, except, this is also a GX effect, chat. Like, anybody ever read Judgment Dragon? That's like a 2008 Yu-Gi-Oh card. You know what I mean? So like people be like, oh my god, Cap it heckin' destroys my opponent's field. Yeah, so did Demise in 2007, and so did Judgment Dragon in 2008. So this really is GX power level, chat. Blowing up your opponent's field is not like that insane. That's really just GX power. This card's original attack and defense becomes the number of fusion materials used for its summon times 3. Let's just assume we use 3 monsters. So we have a 3000 fusion. It's really not that, like, it's not really that insane. But once per turn, this would be like, okay, well, the first 2 effects aren't that good, so this is the broken effect, right? Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up card you control, discard 1 card, and if you do, your opponent cannot target the targeted face-up card with card effect. Holy shit. This card's so fucking bad. This is like, I don't know, like, what? I mean, I don't know what to say, Chad. This card is fine. Prove it, Flax. Prove it. I'm not putting 3 materials into this. I'm not. I'll just summon the new one. MBT said it was so. Is that Sage? Sage. Look. Maybe you could possibly make an argument that this card would have been good if Dark World didn't just get. No, it still wouldn't have been good just because it requires Rainbow. If it would have just been, I don't know, gold, or like, it shouldn't have been a specific name to start. But if it would have been like any 3 Dark World monsters, maybe. But nah, this card ain't it. This card is not it. What were you saying, Flax? I watched your video while I was at the gym earlier today. The playability is exclusively playable based on the fusion spell. It being a quick play and a miracle fusion means it's a quick effect board wipe. So you're saying just use it as a disruption during your opponent's turn? I mean, that's cool, but like, does that make... I'm going to be like... Does that even warrant running Rainbow? And I'm being serious here. Because if you look at what Dark World does, right? Like, how does Dark World actually play? And let's see if this card figures into it. Dark World is a deck that, like, in its ideal scenario, wants to loot 4 cards out of your opponent's hand, then end on like Appaloosa plus Fusion, right? Still work. Yeah, that's like even if you're summoning it as a board wipe on your opponent's turn, like you still have to play Rainbow, which does literally nothing for you ever, unless you're not even if you're using it with Ceruli, because Rainbow, I believe, chat, blows up your opponent's field. What's it called? Thank you very much, Farazzo. Thank you for coming through with the Twitch resubscription, 40 months in a row. That is, what, 3 1/3 of a year of grown-ass Farazzo-ness. I appreciate that support. Farazzo's saying a long time now. He texts me about soccer games, chat, just like randomly. Like, he'll just text me about, oh, Cap, it's Saturday at 4 in the morning. Charlotte FC plays in 5 hours. Wake up. Long time no see, Cap. Have you heard you've been on a musical journey? I have been on a musical journey. Rock and roll. I've been discovering rock and roll like 1 week at a time. And it's almost like it's a brand new genre of music to me. Even though, you know, I'm like damn near 40, chat, which is like, it's crazy because I guess some of the rock and roll shit came out like before I was even born, like all a good portion of the 80s and 70s stuff. But like, yeah, I'm learning about like all these rock and roll bands. Another group that I learned that I really like, chat, this week, Led Zeppelin. They're bussing, chat. They're bussing. Like, just any of you Zoomers, just go on YouTube and just type in Led Zeppelin and just like they're really good. Anyways, okay, back to this card. So, Flax, I'm building this scenario where you have this card, right? So if my ideal goal is to make you have 2 cards and I have Appaloosa plus Grapha, which is like double, even if I'm just counting Appaloosa as like 1 negate, I have 2 cards to answer your 2 cards and probably something else. So, like, I can't think of you a way of you breaking my board with 2 cards. Even if you evenly me, I just keep the other negate. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't understand. I don't feel like a board wipe contributes to that in like a meaningful way. Not at the expense of running Rainbow. If I didn't have to run Rainbow, then I think you'd have a good point. It's like, oh, I just summon this. All it requires me to do is just add 1 more card to my extra deck, and I get a board wipe. Like, that's cool, but I'm not running Rainbow, because like, what do you? No. I don't. So, some of the like really old bands I don't like, chat. Like, I don't like the Beatles. Let me think. I'm trying to think of some other like really popular bands that I like listen to. I'm like, yeah, I don't really like this. I don't like the Beatles. I don't really think I can like Elvis. Yeah, I don't really like Elvis. Don't really like the Beatles. I'm trying to think of like some other stuff. I'm a little hit and miss on Aerosmith. You know what I mean? I like the Rolling Stones. And the Rolling Stones were old when I was like a teenager. So they're probably all like 80 now. They were like old as shit even when I was young. So I know the Rolling Stones are like the oldest, what's it called? Pink Floyd is interesting. Because Pink Floyd is like very unique. I've never really heard any rock music quite like that. They're like chill, stoner rock music. And I don't really know like how I feel about that. It's very interesting. Same thing with Metallica. Like, Metallica is like the polar opposite of Pink Floyd. Metallica's like, like, have you ever listened to like Enter Sandman? And they're cool, but I like more, I don't want to say emo rock, but I don't like my rock to be like that turned up, chat. The only like turned up rock that I like that is probably AC/DC. I like my rock to be more toned down, emotional, kind of like melancholy, or kind of like flamboyant and over the top, which is why I like Queen. Yeah, Queen is probably my overall favorite band. Just cause, yeah. When you say Pink and the Heart, that's where you get Queen, chat. I want to cry to it. Yeah, Billy Idol. I was listening to some Billy Idol songs last night. Yeah, Billy Idol's cool. So hold on. You have to play the old Rainbow, but only because, only it was the new. Yeah. If it was the new Rainbow, this would be fine. If it just said, I don't know, Rainbow Monster, or just put the fucking new Rainbow in here. No one wants to play the old. Chat, here's the truth of the matter. The old Rainbow I remember playing Dark World in 2007. It was like the first deck I ever played at regionals, chat. The old Rainbow sucked when it first came out. I tried it. I put one copy in my deck just because I was like, they made it an ultra rare. It was like a $20 card when I was like, I'm gonna make this card work. You guys ever seen a card, chat, that like is not necessarily good, but you're so invested that you like want it to be good, and you just like play it and you're like, I want it to be good so badly, and then it just isn't good, chat? That's what I was doing with the old Rainbow. Maybe you guys would say coping or whatever, but like that's what I was doing with the old Rainbow before I realized like it doesn't summon itself when discarded, so this just isn't better than silver or gold. You know what I mean? Like I can't just activate card destruction and go like +10. You know? Can we move on? Only Flax thinks this shit is play. Flax, press 1 if by the time it comes out, Flax is gonna be like, this card's trash. I never said that, and he's gonna ignore it. He's gonna ignore everything he's saying on the stream tonight. He's just gonna